And what I'm going to do today is dive in, show you exactly how we implement all of the lead follow-up systems we have, how we track and manage it. And it's really not that complicated. It looks a little complicated here, just getting started, but I'll show you, I'll make it really, really simple so that you today can start doing this in your business, whether you're brand new, just starting out, or you've done lots and lots of deals. My name is John Gluch. I'm the team leader of the Gluch Group, and we have real estate teams in a couple different places. Our big teams are in San Diego and Phoenix. And as I mentioned, we've sold thousands of homes. We sell hundreds of homes a year. And this is the platform we do it on. So I'm creating this video exclusively for the real estate bees so that we can share this information and make sure that everybody knows how to do this, and I'll hopefully help you get successful a lot quicker than I did. So let me dive in here, and this is Follow Up Boss. So Follow Up Boss, anyone can get. It's relatively affordable and really, really simple to get going. And so I'm just going to walk you kind of step by step through the system and how we get started. So the first thing we do is when a new lead comes in, we add it to the system. You just kind of have to become crazy about that. Like everybody goes in the system, right? Every single person. And the thing that makes that easy is the Follow Up Boss is also your phone. And this is what really sets it apart from lots of other systems. I don't get any money for recommending this. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. It just really is what I use. And what's great is it's a dialer. So meaning you call people with Follow Up Boss and you text people with Follow Up Boss. That this is the system you're going to use to make all those calls and text messages. And when you get phone calls, like for example, we've got all of our inboxes here. And again, this may look complicated when you get started, but it's really not. You kind of figure it out pretty quick. But you'll put all of your different phone numbers that you advertise. And so for us, we have a different phone number for everything, which Follow Up Boss lets us do so we can track, like, okay, this person called from Google and this was from Yelp or whatever. You may choose just to have one phone number. That's probably what most people do. But you can see I've got all these phone numbers on the left. And what's great is when a phone call comes in, the phone number that shows up, right? And now I can just save that person as a contact in Follow Up Boss. So it kind of makes it easy and automatic, and we bring on lots of agents on the team, bring on new agents all the time, and it's really they get used to this very quickly. It just becomes their business phone number. So the first thing our agents do when they come over is they reach out to all their past clients, their friends and their family, their sphere, and they text them on their new Follow Up Boss business phone number that they get, which is just included as part of the package. And they say, hey, Uncle Frank, this is, Joey, and this is my new business number. I just joined a great team and I'm excited about it. And moving forward, this is the number I'll be using to communicate in terms of business. And so if you'd save this for me, that'd be great. And that's a great intro and a great way to let people know that you are a professional. You have a professional phone number, just like any professional might. And that will help you to start to really make it a habit to put everybody that you communicate with into the system. So getting them in is kind of the easy part. Then once you get them all in and saved, now what you want to do is categorize them. And so you could make this really complicated if you wanted to, but we have a really, really simple way that we do this. So let me walk you through the people tab here. And Follow Up Boss does all kind of cool stuff. I'm just going to go through the simple stuff, the ways that we track and create people. So here's a contact, and when you get a new person that you enter, you could just do it really easily here. You just pop their name, and we'll just in fact, let's do that. Let's do that, test person, and you'd put their phone number in there, whatever you want, and save them. Now, they're in there. Okay, so this is your person, and here's the rules we live by on my team is every new person needs to be put in a stage. So stages are how we determine where people are at. It's sort of a big picture category of like, what kind of human being is this? And there's really not that many things we have to deal with. One is so lead is automatic. That's what Follow Up Boss automatically puts everyone as, and it's kind of worthless. It's just an inbox of sorts. So we say, okay, look, it's not a lead. It's either an engaged lead, someone who we're talking to, right? We're having a conversation with them. They're a lead. They want to buy or sell a home potentially, and they're engaged. We're talking with them. Or they are signed active. So that'd be the next step, right? We got them signed up. They're ready to go. They want to go buy or sell a home, and they signed up. Then a pending, of course. And then after the pending, they become a sphere or past client. So this is somebody who now we want to communicate with on an ongoing basis. Sphere. They could also just start as sphere. Let's say it's a friend from the gym you got to know or whatever, and they're not looking to buy or sell a home, but they're in your sphere now. They're in your world. So that category, you could just kind of skip all these and go straight to sphere if they are not actually a lead when you meet them or when you add them. Like your Christmas card list, you'd put all those people in as sphere. Then we've got nurture engaged. So these are people who are a little longer in the process. We've got cold leads. These are people who are ghosting us, don't want to talk to us anymore. And then we're at a brokerage that allows us to recruit other agents. And when we do that, we get paid for it. So that's a category of people as agents we're recruiting and we're trying to bring over to the brokerage. Then we get people who are already at our brokerage. I'm at EXP, and my little group is called the Abundant Agents. So this is people who are effectively they're in the group already. And then we've got agents I'm not recruiting. You're going to run across lots of people. Some of them you don't really care for, right? So if that's the case, you put them here. And then non-agent, no follow-up. So these are vendors, lenders, whatever, stuff like that they're not in your sphere. They're not a lead. They're just people you got to do business with. That would be those people. And then these three are just garbage. You don't use these. Lead, trash, I guess we would if we were done with them. We just can't get rid of these because Follow Up Boss makes us keep all three of those. And so those are in there. So that's the first thing is let's figure out where this person goes. Now let's say this person is an engaged lead. We're going to save that. And we built some little fancy automation that tags people automatically over here and does some cool stuff. I'm going to skip over that for now. What we do want to do always is add a tag. So this is the second non-negotiable on our team is you got to put them in a stage and then you got to tag them. And this is the tags that you have to put are a cadence. How often do you want to call this person to follow up with them? So new hot leads would be daily, right? Like let's get out those people every single day. Then you got weekly, and then we've got monthly and quarterly, right? So pretty simple. And let's put this person in here as daily. Now, we're done. That's it. Pretty simple, right? And what this allows us to do now is have some kind of organized system that tells us where these people are at in the pipeline and how often we should follow up with those people. So that's how we enter somebody new. In terms of who they get assigned to on my team, our philosophy has always been the best agents get the best leads. I don't care how long you've been here. If you're crushing it and you're converting at a high level, you get the best leads. It's really that simple. And so the second piece, of course, is capacity. If people are busy, they're busy. And so my inside sales guys, the people who are generating these contacts and answering the phone, basically the guys who are on the phone, they have an order of who to assign leads to. And so those you can just assign to whatever agent you want here on the left. But this one I'm going to leave with me. And then let me walk you through how we actually follow up with people every day. The people tab up here on the left is kind of the magic of Follow Up Boss. And you can select, if you're a team leader, you can pick whoever you want in here. I'm just going to pick my people. And so what this is going to do is, because I'm the team leader, I see all the people in the database here, these numbers. But if you are just an individual, you're just going to see your numbers. And what these are is our call lists, like who we should call today. It makes it really, really obvious and easy to know who to call. And my goal, or the individuals on my team, their goal is to get these inboxes, and these are custom lists that I created, to get these to 0. So these are people who, remember how I just said you have to have a stage and you have to have a tag for how often you're calling the people. That's how the system lives and breathes. Oh, I did forget to mention, one of the cadences for how often should you call people is never. It's a no follow-up tag. So that'd be somebody who, it's just a vendor you don't need to call. But you need them saved in your phone, but you're not going to call them very often, right? So that would be a no follow-up person. So as long as they have one of those tags, then they're not going to show up in these inboxes. And these are called smart lists in Follow Up Boss language. And they're custom filters that you create. So here you can add all kind of filters. You can sort by name and whatever, price point, anything you can think of, you can sort by. So all this is doing is telling me, here's all the people in our system who don't have a stage, meaning all those stages I showed of like lead, sphere, engage lead, sphere, etc. It doesn't have any of those. And so these are people who need to get categorized. So you want to get this list down to 0. And we just added a ton of people to the database recently, so that's why this list is so high. But this is 630 people who don't have a stage yet. That's a problem. So everyone on the team should be working that down to 0. So let me show you one of my agents. This is Garrett's list. And you can see his is at 0. It's exactly where it should be. He's on top of his list. Everything's working great, right? Next thing is tag inbox. So these would be people who don't have a follow-up tag, meaning it doesn't say daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or no follow-up. So this is kind of where you start to be sure you didn't miss anyone. This is the catch-all, and making sure everyone's actually in the system where they should be. As long as these two things are at 0, you're good. So every day when you log into Follow Up Boss, your job is to work left to right and get these lists down to 0. And the way you create these lists is really simple. You go to, like, all people is always just kind of everybody. And you create whatever filter you want. Let's say I wanted, only people whose let's see, what would be a good example? I only wanted people who were a certain source, right? So I only wanted it to include people who were whatever, Google local service people. So it's only going to show those people. And then you can save this list. You can go in here and save it and create a name and save it with everybody on your team, or it could be just for you, whatever, that's great. So I'm not going to go into all that in detail. The main thing is I've created these lists and shared them with my team to help them stay organized. And as I mentioned, there's the 2 inboxes, but now it's kind of what you would expect it to be. It's the people who you're supposed to be calling every day. That's who you would call next. In theory, those are going to be your most important people, right? So you're going to work your way through that list, and then you're going to get to your weekly people, and then your monthly. And what's cool is Follow Up Boss automatically pulls people off that list when you talk to them. Meaning, let's say this person here, who is coming up this is Garrett's list, and this is his daily list. This is someone who he's supposed to talk to every day. And what Follow Up Boss can do if you create the filters this way is it can only show you people who are tagged daily that you haven't talked to today, because it knows, because you sync your email and it is your phone. So it knows if you've called, texted, or emailed that person because it's watching, right? Because it's connected. And so all you have to do is pop in this person's contact info and send them an email, send them a text message, call them, whatever, any one of these activities. You can also manually just log that you talked to that person today, and it'll pull them off the list. So the minute I talk to that person, I'll be able to go back to my people list, and he will be gone. I'm not going to screw with Garrett's thing here, so I'm not going to mess with it. Let's see if I can find a bigger list. So here's his quarterly list where he's got 55 people to catch up with. And what's great is as you go through these people, you can call them, email them, text them, etc. And then you just click the next button, and it's going to go to the next person. And same thing, you call, text, email. You can also create templates. So there can be automatic templates with various language that we use as a team to check in with people, to follow up, invite them to an event, that kind of thing. You can also do mass emails, etc. It's really got a cool, powerful tool. But the magic is, and really what I wanted to try to communicate in this video is, to get everybody in your database, that's step 1. Like, create a system where everybody is in it. And I don't know a better way to do that than it is your phone, right? So that kind of forces you to put everyone in there. And then the second thing is create some kind of system. I like the system where you really only have to track 2 things. What stage is this person in? Like, where do they kind of live in my ecosphere? And then how often should I be calling them? And that's just a gut call. And you can always change it, right? So somebody, when you're calling them every day, eventually, let's say they sign up and you're just checking in with them weekly. That's really easy to do. You just change the tags in Follow Up Boss, and they'll start showing up. And then I like the automation of it automatically telling me, hey, look, this person, you don't need to call this person because you called him yesterday. I won't even know that's happening. It's just happening on the back end to be sure that I don't screw things up. Another cool feature of Follow Up Boss is tracking. So it's got some really cool tracking tools. So if you go to admin over here, you can go to there's a bunch of different ways to do this, but it will keep an eye on how many calls people have had. Oh, there it is, reporting, sorry. You can see the calls that have been made, who on the team is making the most calls, how often they're talking to people. You can even do leaderboards, which is cool. It's like who's making the most emails, text messages, phone calls, all that stuff. Really, really great way to track people. It also will track deals. Once you get deals in escrow and that kind of thing, it'll show you. We're not using that feature right now. We have a different system that does that, but it's really easy to do in Follow Up Boss and kind of keep an eye on things. But you do, of course, want to track how people are moving through the pipeline and that kind of thing. So lots of reporting. Our main focus really is, at the end of the day, closings, right? Are you getting enough deals done? If you're not getting enough deals done, then my diagnoses, how I always go to figure out, okay, how are we doing, is let's start back at the people tab. Are all of your lists at 0? And if you're doing a good job following up with everyone, meaning all your quarterly you've talked to, et cetera, and that's not working, then you probably don't have enough people in there. Some people have 20, 30 people. That's not enough to get the number of deals most agents want. So let's get that number up. Let's increase the amount of people you have in the database. If you have a lot of people and you're staying in touch with them, then you're saying something wrong. So let's figure out what it is. I can look through the text messages. Follow Up Boss will let you record the calls as well, so I can listen to calls and figure out what's going on, because there's something going on in the scripting and that kind of stuff. So that's our preferred way of tracking, and Follow Up Boss makes that all really easy. Follow Up Us does also have a lot of automation in here, so you can create, not anything you could possibly dream up, but it does have quite a bit of automation you can create here using their action plans. And so, for example, little simple example is we have with our system, if you add a tag that says over here, if I say, okay, on the left, I want this to say weekly, and it was already at daily, it's anytime I add one of the new cadence tags, it's going to automatically remove the old one that used to be on there. Little things like that can help. You can also send automatic emails when clients get to certain stages. I don't do any automated follow-up. Like I'm a big fan of manual follow-up, but you could create automated emails and that kind of thing to go out to your like drip campaigns. But I have found those to be more work than they're worth. I like good old-fashioned phone calls. So that's what we focus on is phone, text, and actual human-to-human email. So great system. Again, this is not a Follow Up Us commercial. It just is what I use. And hopefully you can implement this in whatever system you're using as well. If not, you can check out the system, for yourself and see if you like it. So hope this was a super helpful video. Feel free to reach out in the comments, or I'm easy to find, John Gluch. And I'm happy to help answer any questions you have or steer you in the right direction. All right. Good luck and happy CRM management to you.